topic of conversation yesterday on sports radio. Nick Saban maybe going back into coaching and coaching in the NFL. So just speculation here. Your thoughts on that possibility of going back into coaching and going into the NFL?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Dan, but my first coaching job was with Coach Saban. I was the quarterback coach in Miami. So I just retired
Oh,
from playing with the Dolphins, and 2 weeks later, he gets hired, and I was his quarterback coach. So I was with him in that NFL experience, and it was an amazing experience for me. I learned so much from him, and I'm eternally grateful for that. Um, in the middle of it, I think he realized that in the NFL, you get one first round pick a year. And then if you go to a place like Alabama, you can get 10. And and if you get 10 one year and you win a national championship, you're going to get 12 the next year. And so he believes strongly in being relentless in recruiting and building, teams and knowing that at the college level it can perpetuate itself. Where in the NFL, if you have success, it goes the other way. You pick later, you have to pay guys more, all that kind of stuff. So I would bet against that. If you're asking me, I say Coach Saban does not do that. I think he would do well. I believed he was going to do well in Miami before he took the Alabama job. But, Miss Terry is a very influential person in his life at this point. So, like he always says, I'm just going to go up to the lake. He's probably enjoying his time at ESPN, enjoying some time at the lake.
okay, but were you there when they bring in Dante Culpepper and you bring in Drew Brees, and the Dolphins decided to go with Culpepper, and Brees, I guess, physically wasn't he was a question mark. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I was the quarterback coach at that time.
Did you make the
And
decision that you said, let's go Culpepper over Brees?
No, it was an amazing experience on so many different levels. I could write a book about this. Drew Brees is something else, and he was an amazing college player, as we all know. And initially in San Diego, had his struggles, but he started to emerge as the guy. And I think we saw that, and we're excited about it. But we were all in on Brees. And then ultimately, there was a medical decision that said he's got a 75% tear of his rotator cuff, and he wants $8 million guaranteed, and we're not doing it. So it kind of became out of our hands. But he was so much fun to visit with. I'll never forget. We picked him up. We took a plane to New Orleans. We picked him up, brought him to Miami, and just had a hell of a time with him. And it was one of those things where you have to respect the injury, but if you were betting on a guy to be able to overcome an injury, he's the guy that could do it. And obviously he was able to do it. He only threw for 80,000 yards after the surgery. So he was something else. And there was a good story about that. We went to dinner with him, and Wayne Huizenga was the owner of the team. And I'll never forget it. Wayne sat next to him and his wife at dinner. And I never forget him saying to me afterwards, I'm out of the football evaluation business, but I'll tell you what, I'm betting on this guy. He's something else. And so for him to make that evaluation just based on visiting with Drew Brees tells you a lot about both those guys. And then we were there ultimately when we signed Dante, and Dante was an amazing player, but his movement was such a big part of his game. And after he had the knee injury, he really couldn't move, and it was harder for him to play the way he was capable of playing before. So obviously that didn't work out real well for any of us.